Yeah. So, Kingsman, The Golden Circle, we just got out of. Critics are kind of shitting on this movie. I guess they were expecting it to like blow the first movie away, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, critics are fucking stupid because this is an awesome movie.
It is. I mean,
it's so much fun, like, for real.
I wanted it to be basically just like the first movie, only continued. And I know some people like their sequels to be different, but
yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Was it as good as part one? No. But not every sequel is Empire Strikes Back and Return of the King.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was fine. I really liked it.
I did too. I fucking can't stop smiling. It was just a blast.
It was. I mean, the one, there's a criticism that I'll give, and that it is some of those scenes ran on too long.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them, like when they first met the Statesman, like some of that, you could have trimmed like 2 or 3 minutes out of that. Yeah. There was some just dead air there. They were just standing there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's nitpicking. I mean, I could nitpick the hell out of anything, but...
The only main problem I had was the opening shot and the closing shot. Just the way that they were filmed and the way that it was so much shaky cam and like zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah. Like it was just shot a little too over the top. If they'd have toned that back just a little bit, it would have been a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But that was just those 2 scenes mainly, and the rest of it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, they kind of, because the first one had shaky cam, but I mean, I don't mind shaky cam when it's used right, and the first one did, but they did exactly like the first, only they did it a little too much, so I do agree with that. Some of the filming choices. One thing I really like that we don't get enough in movies is during a car chase, there was a big portion of it where there was a overview shot.
Yeah.
An overhead view, like a helicopter was following it. I'm like, we always have the camera's in the car with us, and there was plenty of that.
Yeah, it's right there in the car and on the car driving next to him, all that. Yeah.
I questioned how they were going to handle how Colin Firth came back.
That was awesome.
Really well handled. I won't spoil that.
Yeah.
We might do a couple little spoilers, but I don't really want to spoil too much about this movie. I actually want people to see this.
Yeah, you need to go see this. There's gonna be some stuff we'll talk about. Yeah. We'll save that for our after trailer, couple minor spoiler parts.
Well, one thing I do want to discuss, the unsung star and hero of the film.
Oh my God.
Elton John.
He is the best part of the movie.
He's amazing in this movie. You know what? You can look at him and tell he's just having so much fun.
Yeah.
Listen to Elton John go, "You stupid fucking bitch."
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my room. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my room.
Did you notice when he was screaming at the person to get out, the person next to him that was dead, blood, like by the time that he got done screaming, the blood puddle was covering half the floor. The person standing in a cell next to Elton John, I won't spoil the scene, but just, they're like bleeding to death out of their nose. The whole time Elton John's screaming for the person to get the fuck out of the room, there's just, the blood just keeps pouring.
Yeah, and this is like in the background of the scene, the rest of the scene's going on. It's just hilarious.
And yeah,
he's so good in this.
And I won't say what he does in the end of the movie, but Elton John in the end of the movie, that's one of my favorite scenes of a movie. That was so fucking great.
It was.
Just hearing Elton John call somebody a motherfucker just makes you just feel good inside.
Yeah, just to hear him say, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" And how many times do you get to hear Elton John say that?
And the fact that he hit on Colin Firth at the end, that was so good.
Yeah, you might get a backstage pass. You know what he's talking about.
But you know what? Colin Firth's character does come across as slightly effeminate. I mean, maybe he picked up on that.
Hey, he is a knight, you know.
Colin Firth's not a bad looking man. He and Elton John would probably, Elton John has a husband, I think.
Yeah,
but not in this movie.
Yeah.
But the guy that played Eggsy, just as good as the first one. I do have one complaint about one of there's a character that's heavily built up in the first movie and played as a main character, and the death of that person in this movie I thought was very poorly done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
there was a couple of people in this that you were led to believe were going to be a big part of the movie that ended up not being.
One of the main characters dies in the end, but that's fitting. Like his death is like, I didn't like it because I love the character, but it worked. Unlike some of those deaths in the beginning, like I don't know, this the one in particular that when you see the movie, you'll know. I was kind of irritated with how they handled this person dying. It was like just wrote him off. I mean, did they have another movie they had to do? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's the only part of the movie that actually bothered me. So.
Yeah. Nah, I enjoyed almost everything about it. It was really good. It's absolutely 1,000,000% ridiculous. Like, it's in no way, shape, or form a serious action movie. It's fucking almost slapstick comedy and just ridiculousness the whole time.
Oh, it's a live action cartoon for sure.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I thought that a few times, like, I'm watching a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, but I like that. I like cartoons.
I'm down with like the movie I always stick up for, like London Has Fallen. That to me, that feels like a live action adult cartoon, and I like movies that do that. So
yeah, it's different for sure. Like it didn't try to take itself too seriously.
No, there were moments that there were some sad moments in the movie, but like we're Colin Firth. There's a part I won't give the context when he gets his memory back. That because you know it's going to happen, and it's just a matter of when and how it's going to happen, and when they do that. That part was really sad.
Yeah,
but
his character surprised me a little bit because in the trailers he's like it makes you think something different than what really happens.
They make you think in the trailers that he's going to turn into a bad guy.
He's going to be the bad guy.
And
like,
the movie toys with that a couple times too.
Yeah.
But
because it's got an eye patch. I mean,
and if you're British and you have an eye patch, I'm sorry.
You're the bad guy.
It's just.
But the bad guy in this was an incredible bad guy.
Which bad guy? There was a couple of good ones.
The female bad guy.
Oh, Julianne Moore gives the performance of her lifetime in this movie. She knows she's going to kill She never stops smiling. But she's just so happy to be doing what she's doing. She force feeds somebody to another guy, to another person. And she's.
That was one of the best scenes.
She's like, toss him in the meat chipper for me, please. And he's like,
okay. And she has robot dogs.
Because why not? I mean,
yeah. Like, who cares? Like, she don't even need real dogs. She just got robot dogs.
No.
They'll murder you unless you're Elton John.
Once again, Elton John has just when you think his awesome scenes are done, he just keeps coming back in for more. And then he's in the end of the movie too.
Yeah.
Every time he shows up, I laugh. I'm like, oh, this is so good. Because
he's in full costume, Elton John. Like he's got his ridiculous glasses, the big feather hats, and all that.
And I don't mind saying I do. I mean, I don't like all his stuff, but I do like a lot of Elton John's music, especially his older stuff. I like his version of Pinball Wizard that's on the Tommy soundtrack. I love.
Yeah. I love when he was talking to that guy and he's playing on the piano like Wednesday, Wednesday, and then the music kicks off and it's just a fucking kick-ass scene.
All hell breaks loose. That's one like this will be one we re-review on a rum review in like 6 months from now because we want to talk about that scene.
Yeah, we want to talk about all the awesome stuff that we don't want to spoil for you guys.
No.
Like, I don't give a shit about spoiling a subpar movie, but this is an awesome movie. It was fun.
I found that too, that I don't mind spoiling a movie that when you go into it knowing everything that's already going to happen anyway, like Transformers. Everybody knew how that movie was going to end. I didn't mind spoiling that. But this one, no. Don't listen to a lot of the critics out there. I think that a lot of them, I'm going to understand it. I think this is going to be what happens to a lot of those critics. I think they expected it to be the first movie, and they expected it to supersede the first movie, and it didn't, but it's still a good movie.
That rarely happens, where the second movie is better than the first movie.
I mean, some people argue Godfather 2 is better than 1. I like 1 better, but I completely understand when somebody says they like 2 better.
Yeah.
And, you know, not every movie, like I said, can be Empire Strikes Back, which I think was far superior to New Hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Return of the King, and that's easily the best of the Lord of the Rings, all 6 of the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah.
Especially the director's cut that's 4.5 hours long. 25 minutes of that's credits at the end.
Yeah.
But
you're not going to strike gold every time, but...
No, but it's a good service. It worked as a sequel.
They didn't hit the main gold vein, but they still got some gold in this, because it's like I could watch the first one and the second one back to back all day, every day. Like I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna do that every time I watch the first one. I'm gonna continue straight on to the second one.
I'm gonna do the same thing
because it's just like it's a longer movie. That's all it is. This is a continuation of the first one. It was great movie.
And like I said, I do agree with the critic. The movie comes in at like 2 hours, 21 minutes. They could have chopped about 15 minutes out of this film, made it just over 2 hours, and I think it would have been the exact same movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uninteresting dialogue that happens, like in like this, especially the second act.
Yeah.
But man, it moved nonstop. It didn't really feel that long, but just certain scenes went on too long. But the movie itself really kept a good pace.
Yeah, it started out within 30 seconds. It was straight into the action, and it never stopped. Like there was just something stupid going on the whole time.
Oh yeah, 3 minutes into the film, we're in it. We're into it. There's no lead in. It's just boom. Here it is.
I hope there's more. I love the Statesmen. The Statesmen were just like, hey, they're so much better than the Kingsmen. And they're pompous ass Americans. And that's why. It's just like, that's what an American Kingsman would be. Absolutely. Like, we're not going to make clothes. We're going to make alcohol.
Yeah. What kind of man would be a tailor? Can you imagine us running a clothing shop? Jeff Bridges. He's just basically playing Jeff Bridges in this movie, but I like Jeff Bridges, so...
Yeah, Jeff Bridges was good.
And the other Kingsman dude, I think that was the same guy that was on Game of Thrones Season 4. He played with Matt Damon in The Wall. I think it's the same guy. I'll have to look it up. I could be wrong about that. He was really good. Whiskey, the character Whiskey.
Yeah, Whiskey.
He was good.
Yeah, he was definitely a good character. I love the scene where they went and they were in the bar and the rednecks just started messing with them and you knew exactly what was gonna happen.
It's just like they wanted to give us a reason to hate some people just to see their asses get kicked, and it's great.
Yeah. That was cool. That was a good fight scene. You gotta check it out.
I mean, I can nitpick this movie. I agree, it is not as good as the first one, but the first one was such a surprise.
Yeah.
And the first one hit out of left field. It was like, what's this? And like when I finally saw it, I was like, oh my god! I mean, it tied with the year that it came out. I think like I actually tied 3 movies for my #1 movie of the year. It was that, Victor Frankenstein, and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Were like my 3 favorite movies of that year, and I've watched that Kingsman so many times. And
I was disappointed that this one didn't have a super spectacular murder death scene like the first one had, because that scene with the church was just the best murder scene in all of cinema.
Yeah, but had they done that, they would have been accused of, oh, you're just doing the same thing over again.
Yeah.
Sure, that's not in the way. Oh, it will be. There's always something underneath the screen that the zipper, the dashboard, almost makes it look like I put like a frame around it.
Need like a tripod.
With a mini tripod,
But then the mirror would be in the way.
You know what we could do is we get like a rigger wiring system and like hang the camera from there. By a little switch to go back and forth when we're talking and like like I was saying, I think one of the reasons people didn't care for this one as much is because the first one was such a surprise out of nowhere. Like, it's not like the Marvel films, you go into them like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
And nobody knew that Kingsman was going to be as good as it was.
It sounds stupid. Like, Kingsman. Psh, that's a bunch of British assholes. Nobody likes British assholes. Like, and then, fuck those guys. And then it's just awesome. They kick ass. Like, yeah, okay.
And so
I still don't like British assholes, but the Kingsmen are cool.
But what it was, I think that movie was so surprising, and this movie didn't catch anybody off guard. People went into it, okay, we already know these characters, and I think they were underwhelmed. But I think a lot of the critics of this movie, when they get out of their head about that and rewatch it again, it'll be that movie they go, you know what, I was unfair to that. That was actually not so bad.
It wasn't as bad as I first said it was.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of the shit from the critics, and I was ready to be disappointed. Like,
me too.
Like this is gonna suck, and I've been looking forward to to this for so long, and now it's coming out and it's sucking. Like, man, that blows. But I'm not disappointed at all. I'm happy that we went and saw it, and I'm happy that it was as good as it was.
And I really enjoyed, like, lately we've been getting a lot of movies this year that they focus around music. And like the first opening when it's Prince's "Let's Go Crazy,"
yeah,
and then while the car chase is going on, that was perfect. That was so good.
They definitely used the music very well throughout this movie.
Yeah, and they don't overdo it like Baby Driver. Baby Driver, that worked overdoing it.
Yeah.
But like in an Atomic Blonde,
that was kind of the point of the movie too. He had to have, you know, music going to help with his condition. So
yeah, music is used pretty well in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, go see it. It's
absolutely.
Don't listen to the critics, man. I mean,
no. Even though we are critics and we're telling you to go see it,
we're not real critics.
I'm a real critic.
We're YouTube.
I criticize everything.
That car sucks. That bitch is fat.
The bitch is fat.
Oh, you know what's funny? I was just joking.
I thought you were blind. How can you see that far?
With my third eye. As if I believed in that shit.
My third eye's down there.
Yeah. Hasn't seen anything in a long time.
No. You know what's funny? Is I bought a couple of these this morning. I was gonna sneak one in down my pants. And then if they said, "What's that?" say, "That's just my mega stuffer." You want to see it?
Yo, my hot
speedy stuffer.
You want to see my hot meat sandwich? No, sir. Move along.
It's okay, sir. Just carry on.
All right. Yeah, I don't think we'll really go into spoilers on this one because there's no need. I want people to see it, so we're going to talk trailers, and then I'm going to mention something about, I want to talk just for a minute or two about the movie we watched last week, Mother, and some things that have been said about that movie. So we'll go over the trailers real fast, and then we'll do that. So if you want to turn it off after the trailers because you're not interested in hearing about some comments I have to make about Mother. Well, in the trailers, we got the same American-made trailer that we've been getting.
American-made.
I think that's next week.
So. Yeah, that's good. That's a must-see.
Mm-hmm.
We got that Red Tarantula movie.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Basically, they're ripping off the Black Widow storyline from Marvel Comics.
Like Red Sparrow.
Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
Although that might be like a thing. Somebody will probably come on here like, dude, that was a book series like 20 years ago. I'm like, shit, I never heard of it. Sorry.
It looked cool, but the storyline they described in it sounded a lot like Black Widow's backstory.
Yeah,
so
a school in Russia for little girls. It turns them into soldiers. It's the same fucking thing. Unless this might be a Marvel film and they just haven't told us yet.
Maybe.
Well, I know they wouldn't do that because Jennifer Lawrence is a star, and she plays Mystique in the movie, so they wouldn't do that.
But it looks good. I'm interested to see more about it.
It was just a teaser trailer. It was only like a 30-second trailer. It wasn't like a full trailer, so it intrigued me. I definitely want to know more about it.
Yeah. And then we got
the Greatest Showman on Earth.
Yeah.
It's
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum. Now, everything I've read about P.T. Barnum said he was a fucking piece of shit. That he was an asshole. And the trailer kind of makes it look like he's this glorious, wonderful person. But I've read some stuff about him that he was kind of a prick.
Like, I'm sure that he didn't really talk that little midget into joining the circus. He, like, kidnapped him in a gunny sack, and you could see him, like the evil guy with the mustache running down the street with his sack full of midgets.
And you hear the music in the background. So that actually looks like... That is one of those movies that looks like it's either going to be really fun and interesting, or it's going to be so up in its own ass that it sucks.
Yeah. Or the trailer really, really makes it look like it could go either way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of singing and dancing.
I don't know.
I mean, if it's done right, I might be able to enjoy that, but... Like, if they're just trying to trick me into seeing a musical without telling me it's musical, I might be a little offended by that.
I like musicals, so I'd be okay with it. I don't think that's what it's going to end up being. But if it can fit into the schedule, it comes out around Star Wars time, so it might not see that one in the theater. But
maybe. See how it goes.
And there was one other trailer.
They were like driving in some snow.
Oh, the Tomb Raider trailer.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. Yeah.
I'm not a Tomb Raider fan. Like I never really cared for the games. I know a lot of people do, and like I remember the first one coming out on PC and playing it. I worked at a laundromat at the time, and I played it on the PC. And I beat that game in like no time. I thought it was really easy. The first Tomb Raider, at least on the PC, it was.
Yeah.
I just never got into the movie with Angelina Jolie. I'm not really a fan, but this one, I don't know. I might give it a shot.
It looked cool, but I don't know. Like, I've been fooled by video game movies before. Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil.
There's a couple of them that Silent Hill.
Yeah,
I've never seen the Silent Hill movies. I've just heard they were so bad I never watched them. But
none of them usually are any good. But this is the best looking trailer for one so far. So I mean, it's a good story. If it's done right, then it could make a good movie.
The Lara Croft origin story is very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's based on one of the games.
Well, it's based off the one that's going to come out right before the movie does.
Oh, is it?
Wow, I'm sure. Why else would they put out a movie if they weren't going to make a new Tomb Raider game?
That's true. One's going to sell the other.
Yeah. Like, they're like this. Goes hand in hand.
Alright, so real quick, and this will only be a minute or two, and then we'll be done with this video. Last week I noticed that Mother did not do very well in the theater. It was beaten out by American Assassin, and It just dominated.
Oh yeah, It murdered everything.
It is going on to become the most profitable film ever made because it only cost $30 million to make, and it's already made like $300 or $400 million worldwide.
You know what that means?
There's gonna be a sequel.
Well, obviously, but the sequel is gonna fucking suck major dicks.
Because they'll put too much money into it.
They're gonna spend $300 million on the sequel, and it's gonna fucking suck an ass. Yeah. I almost guarantee it.
I don't know. Jessica Chastain is in talks to play the girl as an older person, and I like Jessica Chastain a lot. She was Murph in Interstellar. That girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like her a lot, so just her alone being in it will have me watching it. But I don't think a lot of people understood Mother. I mean, Mother's one of those things. If you send a comment, if you watch this on Facebook, send me a message. If you need like the ending horrendous scene of Mother explained and what it means, it really is the thing of, you know, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. It's an allegory for Christ, the body of Christ. And I won't go in anymore because if you don't know what scene I'm talking about, but if you need any part of Mother explained to you, there's tons of videos online that explain everything about it, but I can answer questions.
Yeah,
but
it was definitely a very confusing movie. It's understandable why you might not have got it. Like, don't feel bad about that.
And there are people that understood it and then just still didn't like it. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I think there are people that I hated it, I didn't get it. I'm like, well, maybe you try to understand it, maybe you like it.
Yeah.
I've had movies like Donnie Darko. The first time I saw it, I was like, the fuck was that? and then I watched it with the director commentary and then watched it again. I'm like, oh, this movie's fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't talk about, like, we don't get too political on here because I don't want to alienate the audience. And let's face it, it's just, nobody wants to hear that shit anymore.
Nobody wants to keep that argument going because you're all a bunch of assholes.
I made one little joke about Trump on here, and it actually got me a video. Oh, I think that's the reason we got a downvote, but it was one little tiny joke. But so this isn't about politics, but it's about commenters online. Those of you who go to Yahoo on your phone know that they always place a top comment of a story right underneath it on the Yahoo mobile. They commented on the Mother because it said Mother performs poorly compared to It. And this idiot said, it's because Jennifer Lawrence came out against the president. She don't like America, so because she's anti-Trump, that's why the people didn't go see that movie. They don't want to support her. No, the reason the movie didn't do well is because It was so well received the first week that everybody went to see it the second week, and it killed Mother. It just did. They put Mother out at the wrong time. But what's funny about that statement is they said it's because she's anti-Trump, but Stephen King is so anti-Trump that he's been banned on Twitter by Trump, and he has openly said Trump is not allowed in the theater to see his movie.
Yeah.
He's one of the most outspoken people. I don't like Trump, and even I think Stephen King sometimes. I'm like, dude, take it down a notch. But
take it a little farther, buddy.
I mean, he goes nuts on him on Facebook and Twitter.
I hate that shit. People want to throw politics into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh, the firefighters rescued this cat from this tree. Some fucking retard is gonna say something about politics on the post for that. Because you're an asshole. Because everything's Trump's fault. Everything's Obama's fault. Blah, 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 blah. Get over it. Well, fucking get over it.
When it's relevant to the conversation, it's one thing.
Yeah.
And then I understand.
But they just interject it into everything.
Yes. And then they did it with the reviews of Mother.
Yeah, that's so terrible. If you do that, you're a fucking terrible person, and you can go suck a fucking bag of dicks.
Nobody's political views has ever stopped their movies from succeeding.
No.
There's a lot of people that didn't like Bush during the Bush administration. Guess what? Every movie Kelsey Grammer's in, he's an open conservative, did well. Hollywood
was fucking ran by communists, and fucking people still watch their shit. I watched the movie about it. I know what I'm talking about.
Trumbo?
Yeah,
I love
communist.
Trumbo.
Communist. Every movie all the classic movies that you love that are from back in the day, those were made by communists. So, if you got a problem with something, you should have a problem with that.
Well, you can every movie you're in that you see, except for some of those religious exploitation films, like those shitty companies like Pureflix put out, like that horrendously offensive God's Not Dead and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but in actual movies, because those aren't real movies to me. In real movies, you're not going to have just one political opinion throughout the entire film. You're going to have people that are unaffiliated, Democrats, Republicans.
Yeah.
It's a fucking movie. Don't bring that into it.
It's like a mishmash of all the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah.
We're not all one-sided. You know, everybody doesn't have to have the same opinion about everything.
Right. I mean, and to think, for when people said that, like, well, Jennifer Lawrence spoke out again, I wanted to comment, but I don't feed the trolls. I don't do it.
And just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't automatically make them wrong.
Right.
They might be wrong, but you can't just say, "Oh, you're wrong, you lose." That's not how fucking debates work.
No, and because we got to keep this film related, because movie review. But when people say things like that, especially considering, like I said, Stephen King is one of the most anti-Trump people out there, and his movie is becoming one of the most successful films of the year. Leave that shit out of it. Yeah. Fuck yourself. You know,
it has nothing to do with it, really. Yeah.
I mean, I hate when people immediately tell somebody that because they disagree with their politics that they're not talented at what they do. I think Ted Nugent's a terrible human being, but he's still one of the greatest guitar players ever.
Melt your face off with his guitar.
I mean, I think he's just all around a bad person, but that doesn't mean, like, I wouldn't say he's not talented.
Yeah.
Unlike Kid Rock, who absolutely fucking sucks balls. I fucking hate Kid Rock so much. And
he's got a talent. He unites white trash together. I mean, the Kid Rock comic gets tuned as like on his video.
He should have a thing. He should write his own version of the Communist Manifesto, and just the first line be "Meth heads of the world unite." All right, well, that's our political rant. The whole Mother thing that just irritated me. If you didn't like the movie, that's fine. But to say it's because of one of the actors,
that's ridiculous.
Or actresses' political affiliation.
How does that make any sense? Because the X-Men doesn't have a problem. Jennifer Lawrence is an X-Men.
She was in Hunger Games, and that movie's
Hunger
dominated.
Games fucking smashes it. How your argument is invalid.
She's an Oscar-winning actress. She won have you ever seen Silver Linings Playbook?
No.
Hell of a great movie. It's about a boring concept, but the acting is so good, and she won an Academy Award for that. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, well, we're gonna run the video too long, and it's getting hot out here, and I don't want the camera to overheat. We're going out to the lake and partying tonight. I'm gonna try to catch some footage out there, and if any of it's actually viewable, I'll post it online.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. We're gonna get drunk and shoot stuff.
Yeah, the long-haired hippie guy with the Doors t-shirt is gonna go out and shoot 45 rounds out of a 45, so...
Yeah, it'll be tons of fun.
Yeah, alright, well...
Let's see if we can get somebody to hold a can while we shoot it out of their hand.
Anybody, I would try, I would be like, no, don't do that, but if somebody said, I'm gonna hold this can while you shoot it, I'd be like...
Yeah. Okay.
There's like a thing in the back of my head that kicks in when somebody's already doing something dumb. I'm like, I have to encourage them. And then when they get shot and they're screaming, I'm like, yeah, what did we learn? What did we learn?
We learned that he's not a very good shot.
I told you before this, I'm blind in one eye. I have to do like this because his eyes is a big gray circle in the middle. All right, well, I'm gonna stop it there. Nobody's still watching.
No, they left a long time ago.
All right, we'll be back next week.
See you, fucker.